All right. Don't think I've got my transition happening there properly. There we go. Right, anyway. So, I've been seeing this for a little bit. Right. Now that Tekken 8's been out for a smidgy, I was sort of sending comments back and forth talking about, you know, they're not a big fan of maybe the heat issue or whatever. And then, like, the champion of Tekken, Arslan Ash, who has won 4 Evo champions, comes out with Tekken 8 be like heat burst, heat smash, power crushes, heat engages, throws, that's it. Seriously, why they even bother giving each character a variety of moves? Personally, I'm just casual Tekken player, right? So like I'm having fun with it, right? Again, it's the same principle I have with any game out there. If you're having fun with it, that's all that matters, right? My previous video talking about how like people take this shit way too serious. That's sort of like loser mentality. And it's because this is the thing. It's like, look, obviously he's a professional. This is what he does for a living. This is what he does to compete, right? But at some point, he's going to stop competing, right? And hopefully he's enjoying the game. I've been told like some pro players in the MK scene don't even like playing the game, right? Which boggles the mind. Hopefully other fighting game communities don't have that sort of mentality. But eventually, the competitiveness is going to disappear and it'll become a video game again, right? Now, I'm having fun with it. Again, I'm not an expert at it. I'm only red rank. Like, you know, I'm not whatever. Like, I don't care. I just have fun with it. I'll play a little bit, play one match after this, probably get my ass beat for the video, right? Because this is all recorded in real time. So, but he, of all people, you know, is coming out and sort of pointing out these particular issues. I actually appreciate this because, like, it seems that the only time that certain people in the MK community complain about stuff is when there's a patch drop. Outside of that, they just go, you know, mum's the word, shh, don't say anything, right? So, following up with some comments, right? I'm so glad more and more people are starting to realize this. I've said this from the beginning. Tekken 8 is the most mindless iteration of Tekken yet. It's sad because it has the potential to be greatest one yet. What I don't understand is they want aggression, but not the defense to protect yourself from it. You know, I remember not too long ago, about a minute, a bunch of only pros sitting there for the last few months going out of their fucking mind about my opinion about the gameplay with Mortal Kombat. And what did I say this whole time? I didn't ask for nerfs. I hate the cameo system. You can remove that shit any day. I didn't ask for nerfs. I asked for more defensive options. Exhibit A. Right? It is interesting actually, because I know somebody has talked about this before, like there's some Tekken dude who's very critical in the community, right? But the rest of the community don't destroy him for it, right? They actually embrace people with different points of view. They don't just go out and try and destroy people's opinions and other things out there simply for having a difference of opinion or simply saying this isn't fun, I'm not liking this, why can't there be more? They should make low parries actually be dangerous again if you land one. I would love an extra bound. Literally everyone past Tekken King is either Reina, Victor, Hwarang, Jin, or Devil Jin. The very least, increase the timing on it and reduce damage on or something. Especially with these damn rollbacks and delay frames, right? Continuing on, yeah, same question. Now we don't need to learn the combos, just press the buttons, you will perform a variety of moves. I'm assuming they're talking about the simple command option, right? Let's go turn on heat. Okay, heat mode now, yo, block my 50-50. I succeeded, I won. Block, okay, good games, next game. Tekken 7 be like Magic 4, so I'm assuming they're pointing out that Tekken 7 had issues as well. Honestly, Heat was just a mistake in a fighting game where a round can be decided by a single hit at times. Now, something else that the only pros seem to, you know, because they like making up shit. I never said that there weren't other problems in other fighting games, right? That's what you call a defensive, you know, sorry, deflective maneuver. Oh, but this game's got problems too. And obviously, Tekken has always had this sort of issue where you get picked up, you go on a little plane trip, and that's it. But I always felt for me in Tekken that I felt like I still had a chance to come back, right? Because the game engine, the animation, the smoothness of how the game felt, I didn't feel like I was fighting the game engine and then having to fight the opponent, which is what I've been feeling with NRS games this whole time. Something that most normal people, more than 2 brain cell people out there, seem to understand, but anyone less than that, I can't help you, right? So this is the thing, right? This guy's pointing out not being like, taking a single hit. Obviously, well, I mean, I've had some pretty big damage done to me, right? And I'm just waiting to come down from my my plane trip so I can get back and fight again. But everything feels kind of a lot faster than, say, with MK1. Turning half the cast into a final boss for 30 seconds is just a terrible idea. Tekken Legacy is not important, but dollars. Even I was able to take down a few very well-known players recently. I won't give out their names, and Tekken 8 pro players and noob players like me are almost on the same level. There is no respect right now. A huge patch fix is needed. I've seen some people say that they actually like the idea that it's pulling the 2 different opposite ends together. So there's some parity, some common ground. But I don't know. I mean, look, as far as an MK fan goes, I'm enjoying it. I have not liked what NetherRealm has done ever since they got their full claws into the game after MK9. So, for me, it's not an MK1 issue. It's an entire company gaming engine, gaming animation issue, right? But obviously broken people like broken products, so you know what I'm saying? Right, anyway, you being a high-profile player will probably make them think about the direction, which is good. And of course, also the way that he puts things across as well. The massive difference between other fighting game communities and, well, Anyway, which is good. The issue is, though, they based the whole Tekken 8 idea around heat and aggressiveness. Without that, it's Tekken 7.5. So, obviously, like I've spoken to a few Tekken players, one guy that teaches, another guy that used to compete. They always said, being more aggressive was always a flaw in Tekken. It's, it's much more of a defensive game. And obviously, it seems that with the heat gauge, they're trying to fix that and try and get people into the game. It's like maybe take some risks. I don't know. I like it. Like, again, I'm just a filthy casual, but I like it. Kind of reminds me of a certain Kazumi player that only used 112 DB4 and DF1 back in Tekken 7 Kappa. Just a broken, unfinished game that cost $120 designed for the newcomers and the noobs who were addicted to mashing. I think Breezy in my Discord actually stated that that's the case, actually, that this game feels like it's made for a whole new generation of Tekken players. I've also had people that haven't played Tekken in years that have picked the game up and just sort of slotted right back in with their favorite characters if they're in the game and enjoying it. Heat Smash is so effing dumb. We didn't need a stronger rage drive that you can do along with Rage Art. I respect you a lot, but this sounds like someone having trouble adapting to the metagame. Koreans have been so successful in this game because they have adapted for years regardless of the game's state. So, if anyone's got more information on that, please put a comment in the description. A comment below under the description. I can understand wanting to make the game easier to get into, but I feel like the pendulum swung too far. Even when I win using heat mechanics, it doesn't feel like I truly earned it. That's why I don't like the Fatal Blows in MK1. I preferred if it was just part of the 3-bar system that we had in MK9 and MK10. So you really had to make a fundamental choice about, yes, okay, do I enhance my moves? Do I, keep two of the bars like in MK9? But I don't know, were there combo breaks in MK10? I barely played that fucking game, right? But in MK9, 2 bars for combo breakers, or I hang on to the 3 and hopefully land that X-ray. I preferred that. I don't like Fatal Blow. I just don't. For Mortal Kombat, anyway. Tekken 8 sold like crazy. Twitter community is a small part of the Tekken community and not the majority of opinions. This is Tekken 8, not Tekken 7.5. This game is designed to be aggressive. You could explain Tekken 7 too. Pick OP character, KBD, attack, KBD. In this game, a player which have 0 skills still can win against pro players by smashing random buttons. I think that's kind of always been a Tekken thing, has it not? like you could just pick up like characters and just mash buttons and you could actually beat people. That's always been a thing ever since I was like younger. Harada should nerf those most picked with high win rate characters because you know they are abusable as F, Drag, Warang, Reina, Azuzena, King, DVJ. Who's DVJ again? Devil Jin. Yep, there we go. I was just looking for Deiji. Anyway, Feng and Victor. Yeah, Feng's a crap character. Make Power Crushers launch punishable. No reason that half the cast should have a universal option for every situation. It makes the game streamlined. New player needs to know this heat. Know his heat and his opponent's heat, and they can compete. Everything else is irrelevant. Now makes it easier to learn and compete. It's about getting more players competing. Well, maybe. I mean, like, again, the fighting game scene in general is it's like a tiny, less than percentage amount of people that actually do this, right? And it always will be, right? So, you know, when you look at like any sport out there, you know, it's always, you know, like, you know, everyone goes to the game to watch the cricket match or football, whatever, right? But it's like a tiny, like a minuscule amount of the population that are actually playing at the high level versus the rest of the population that exists, right? It's always been that way, right? But you know, sometimes because of that, people, like, if they are into esports, they might get into the game just for fun, or get into the game for a whole variety of reasons. But ultimately, it is a video game. It is bought and meant to be played as something, as a form of entertainment. And so therefore, if the majority of people are enjoying these mechanics, then what do? Right? Didn't you use only 4 of the 5 safe moves from any character you played while backdashing away from a threat? Seriously, why they even bother giving each character a variety of moves? To me, the game is much too focused on aggressiveness, and while that may be fine, so this is the thing too, which I found with MK1. Obviously, MK1 was supposed to be Injustice 3. That's why everyone's flying all over the screen, why people are bouncing everywhere, because it was supposed to be Injustice 3, and that makes sense when you're using superheroes. Mortal Kombat has always mostly been a ground game. Sure, you can juggle and stuff, but it's nowhere near the ridiculousness that we have now, right? I preferred it much being on the ground, much more grounded style of game, just like a Street Fighter or whatnot, right? We're flying all over the air in Mortal Kombat 1. It just feels really alien. So maybe to them, with this sort of new mechanic with heat, that's what maybe they're experiencing. They're finding this thing too much of an alien tech being added to a game that maybe, in their opinion, didn't actually need it. They nerfed a lot of defensive options, rightfully so, then decided to crank the offensive factor to the moon. So this right here is exactly what I've been saying forever with Mortal Kombat 1, right? All the only pros were happy to see all the defensive options go, because it means then that the average person loses out, right? But everyone gets access to the defensive options. It's not like casuals only have defensive options and only pros lose out. They don't lose access. Everyone has access, right? But again, if you're just being pummeled constantly, what's the point? Like how is that fun, right? You're not supposed to sit in training mode for hours, and something I've been saying for the longest time, for hours and hours and hours, just so you can get online and just have some fun. That's not gameplay. That's just crap, right? Don't bother stepping anyone in heat, just hold the 50-50 because they're so... Yeah, I believe like heats are just, they auto-track, right? At least to a degree. Certain moves being power crushers and heat engages is a strange decision. Shaheen's back 3-4 and Victor's back 1-2 come to mind. The skill ceiling has been lowered. A lot of the higher ranked players seem to be frustrated by the fact they're so good at the game, yet still can lose just as easily to power crushers and heat engages. Throws, command throws, a variety of moves is okay, but not the focus in Tekken 8 in my opinion. I'd love to see Harada address this, or anyone that can actually address this, right? So totally agree, skill level 0. So let me know what you guys think. This is, again, obviously this is by like the champion of Evo, right? I do like the way he puts things across, far better than we've seen other people in the community, and putting things across is a far better bedside manner than others, right? So that means it's a better and more open discussion, right? So I'm very curious about where this is going to go. Maybe Harada will come out and actually address this and say, hey, you know, we understand this. This is the way it's done. Obviously, Tekken 8 is a phenomenal success. People are loving the game. But from the esports scene, it seems that there seem to be some issues. And as I've stated in the past, maybe fighting games should get to a point where they have certain things that are enabled just for the pro scene, right? In specific game modes, right? Just like how you have things like you got standard like game modes in say Call of Duty, but then you've got hardcore, right? Then you've got hardcore mode as well. Have those options. Maybe we need to have hardcore as an online option that really scales some of these things back or takes them out completely and gives that true authentic experience for what they're after. And then the rest of us who just enjoy all the fluff and the fun get that as modes as well. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Catch you next time.